Hey everybody, good morning. My name is Jason Flame, board member for the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce, and excited to introduce you to another one of our newest members to the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce. And let me get started. Today's guest is a powerful example of what lifelong service truly looks like. Sacha Butts is a U.S. Navy veteran, federal investigator, scholar, and now president and CEO of Right at Home Simi Valley, bringing leadership, discipline, and heart into everything she does. Her journey from serving on a combat security team overseas to advocating for workers' rights and ultimately founding a compassionate in-home care company after her mother's cancer diagnosis is both inspiring and deeply human. The conversation dives deep into resilience, purpose, and how personal experience can ignite a mission to serve others at the highest level. Sacha, thanks for being on the show, and we're excited to learn more about you.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It's it's 10 o'clock. So for some people, it's kind of the middle of the day already. For me, it's the day's barely getting started because I won't even start teaching until a little later this evening. But any current projects you're working on today, this week, this month?
Just the typical day-to-day of the business.
Yeah, right on. Cool. Well, hey, let's talk a little bit about your history, your background, and obviously we want to talk about Right at Home Simi Valley. Your life has been rooted in service, from the Navy to federal investigations to now leading Right at Home. How did those earlier chapters shape the leader you are today?
I think those experiences instilled in me the values of discipline, resilience, and teamwork. Even as a federal investigator, I learned the importance of advocacy and fairness and standing up for those who didn't have a voice. I think each chapter taught me to lead with empathy and integrity, and it has definitely shaped my approach as a CEO for Right at Home Simi Valley, where I strive to create a culture that is both valuable to my clients and our team.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to say you're really serving two groups of people: the people that you literally serve at Right at Home, but also the team of people that helps you do that work. So yeah, that's awesome. What got you into what made you choose to go into the Navy?
Well, I was feeling very patriotic after, experiencing the whole 9/11 thing. And I figured what better way to serve this great nation than to go into the military.
Well, thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And, tell me a little bit more about your background and where do you come from?
I come from Georgia.
From Georgia. Okay. And what brought you to California?
The military.
The military did. Okay, cool. All right. And your decision to open Right at Home Simi Valley was born from a very personal experience with your mother's diagnosis. How did walking through that season change your perspective on care, family, and leadership?
When my mom was diagnosed with cancer unexpectedly in 2023, she had recently moved out here to spend time with the grandkids. So experiencing that firsthand, I understand the challenges that family face and all the emotions you have to go through to decide whether or not to get a caregiver. Can you handle it on your own? That season changed my perspective on care, family, leadership. It showed me how vital compassionate support is, and just for clients and the entire family, it reinforced my belief in providing quality home care and dignity, comfort, peace of mind. And it inspired me to start this organization because honestly, without the caregivers that my mom had, it would have been very difficult to work 50 plus hours and provide the care that she needed.
And so, what were you doing prior to starting right at Home Simi Valley? What immediately before? What were you
I was
spending 50 hours a day, 50 hours a
I was
week?
a federal investigator, and I was a federal investigator even once I started right at home up until last year, the end of September, I retired.
And so you retired. I was going to ask what made you choose to continue with the business and being the CEO versus balancing both. But up until a couple years myself, I did not have any experience with anybody who had cancer. So my perspective a couple years ago would be totally different having this conversation with you. But understanding the amount of care that someone needs and all of the things that are from the moment you hear that word, you kind of go into a little bit of a panic mode. But then in my mind, and I know in your mind with discipline and everything from the military, okay, what's next? Like what are we going to do? But even still, I have found and talked with people who have just a very hard time, navigating that whole process of from diagnosis to treatment to care and aftercare, and then life after. What that looks like. What made you go into this avenue? Because there's so many things. I mean, there's so many things that you experience. What made you go into this specific area and this specific business?
I would have to say my mom. My mom really connected with one of the caregivers, and when she connected with that caregiver, it kind of took me out of the role. Well, not necessarily out of the role. It's like how she viewed me. She didn't have to view me as a caregiver. I just got a chance to just be her daughter again, and that is valuable, especially
Yes.
if you're a kid taking care of your parent. To have that parent child relationship restored and not stressed because you have to provide them care.
Right, right. Yeah, that is challenging because as a family member who is a caregiver for someone with cancer, we're talking about all kinds of things from medications to doctor's visits to getting to the hospital to being in the hospital and all the things. I dealt with this with my wife. On the other hand, my father just passed from cancer, and watching as his son, not necessarily as his caregiver, because I was there, a lot more towards the end, and it is a different emotional experience when you're the caregiver versus being kind of on the outside and someone else doing all the work. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And so help people understand, how that made you feel, or what other people don't necessarily know when they're in that situation.
That it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. It's definitely okay to ask for help, and there's a lot of people, and depending on, we were fortunate enough to be taken care of by UCLA, and so the care at UCLA was so amazing. We actually had a home care, come to our house, and like everything that we experienced was just pretty amazing. Not everybody gets that experience with their hospital or with their doctors, their physicians. Can you explain how home care helps kind of fill the gaps?
Well, when you say home care, what are you referring to? In home care or home health?
Both. Explain the difference between both so that people understand what that means.
So home health is your RNs, your physical therapists, occupational therapists. They assist the patient for a short period of time, maybe an hour or so. But once they leave, they the client or the patient is just on their own. So the things like if they needed help feeding themselves or there's an incontinence issue, that's where in-home health like my agency would come in, and that's where you need both home health and in-home care. And a lot of people don't really understand the difference. They get home health and they think that they're going to assist them with the day-to-day life, and they're not, because that's
Right.
not their role.
Right. And so continue on with your specialty and what you do on a day-to-day basis. What is your team? How is your team helping your clients?
So my team, they can do anything from everything's non-medical, but from companionship up to personal care. The person is bedridden. So let's say you may have a senior that it just doesn't get to be around people or get out. They can't drive anymore. We would be able to assist them by taking them to the doctors, taking them to socialize. Maybe they want to go to the senior center, the gym. It's just giving them that companionship. We also help people with dementia, just being there to ease the burden on the family, up to maybe you have a loved one that can't bathe themselves or does have an issue with incontinence. We can assist them with that.
Got it. Got it. So on a day-to-day basis, every day can be totally different, but there's a wide range and variety of things and services that you're providing. I want to mention this. I want to mention this to you specifically, but also to anybody who may be watching, because it kind of falls in when you were saying sometimes seniors don't get out or be around other people. And I'm part of the Ventura County Leadership Academy currently, cohort 31. And we have a senior, it's called a senior skip day. It's going to be held in Ventura at the Ventura Adult and Continuing Education office in Ventura, and we're gonna include lunch and bingo and some IT support so that some seniors can learn how to use their phones and their apps and computers a little bit better, and other lots of fun activities. So I can provide you with more information if that helps you. But for anybody else that has a senior in their life, that this may benefit them to get out and to be able to socialize a little bit. A great opportunity. Now, Sacha, you served in high pressure environments, from combat zones to enforcing labor laws. What lessons from those experiences translate most to running a mission-driven healthcare organization?
I think those experiences taught me the importance of adaptability, staying flexible, clear communication, and being mission driven and focused. Uh, all those lessons translate directly into running this agency, and it's critical to remain calm under pressure and prioritize the needs of the clients, the caregivers, and make decisions that serve the greater good. I've learned
Yeah.
that leading with purpose and accountability ensures we deliver a product that's reliable, compassionate, and that we can truly be proud of.
Well, leading with passion is so important to me. I always talk with my kids about choosing a career path that's a passion of theirs, because when you're working your passion and you're doing something that you love and truly believe in every day, it's never really a work day, right? I mean, it just feels like you're doing what you were meant to do. And so I love that. I love hearing you say that. Can you give me an example or a story maybe in one of those areas of your experience with the military or with being an investigator that like really highlights like what we're talking about here, the high pressure environment? Any stories come to mind?
Well, as an investigator, there were several events where I got back wages for employees that may have been cheated for years. And, some of the back pays were in hundreds of thousands of dollars. So to see that impact on someone who may have currently been living paycheck to paycheck was major. And I mean, sometimes
Sorry, Sasha, I'm losing you there for just a second. You froze up on me. Let's give it a second to come back.
I get to see the fruits of our labor. So it just kind of reinforced, like, yes, you are making a positive difference in someone's life.
I love it. I apologize. Your side of the camera froze up for just a second. I'm not sure if the audience continued to hear that story, but thank you for sharing that because again, you're talking about impact, the impact of what you do, helping someone else. That impact could possibly, in your case, when you've just now helped them save or recover hundreds of thousands of dollars, that is definitely life changing for them. So good for you. Caregiving is often invisible until family suddenly need it. What do you wish more people understood about in-home care before they find themselves in that moment? We touched on this just a little bit earlier, but could you help people that, because sometimes things just change on a dime, right? It's like all of a sudden, what do I do? So how could people plan and prepare if needed?
I would say I wish more people understood the differences between the different types of agencies and that it's not just about caregiving, it's about meeting the your loved ones' needs. It's about enhancing their quality of life, preserving their independence, and also just providing the family support during difficult times. Planning ahead, learning about the available resources can significantly assist when you're trying to look at that critical moment, because at that point it's very stressful and you're trying to learn about various agencies that you know nothing about. So just putting some time in learning about what happens as you age, long-term care, putting things in place that can help you and your parents or your spouse as they age. I think all of that would be beneficial.
And how are you, now that you're the CEO of Right at Home in Simi Valley? How do you, other than being a part of the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce, how do you help educate our community on all of these opportunities?
Well, I'm a part of various networking groups and the VCCC that also we get together and we try to educate the community as a whole. I mean, even if someone calls in for service, I take that opportunity to educate that family member or that family, whether or not they sign up for service or not, because I feel like if you give them the knowledge, then that would be more useful than just focusing on like, oh, sign up for our service.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Right.
really big on educating people the various resources that are out there, any chance that I get.
Awesome. Is there anything coming up that people should know about where you might be taking an opportunity to educate people? Are there any events or, dare I say, some kind of seminar of some sorts? Is there anything coming up where, versus calling you, just so people could be aware of that?
On our website, we always update information about various conditions, like if you do have a family member with dementia or veteran services, we try to keep that information up to date. Right now, we don't have anything like in person lined up until maybe like April. And then, of course, that information will be on the website, so people would know when it's happening and where it's happening.
Okay. And what is your website where people can go and learn more about it?
It's right at home, Simi Valley. You can just Google that and it'll come up.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And as a wife, a mother, a veteran, and CEO, you wear many hats. How do you stay grounded, resilient, and intentional while balancing leadership, family, and personal growth?
I would say with intention and resilience, those are all very in labor intensive, if you will, positions or roles. I stay grounded by prioritizing self care, leaning on my support system, and remaining true to my values. Continuously learning, whether through my doctoral studies or daily experiences, help me grow personally and professionally. I strive to be present with my family and lead my organization with empathy, knowing that my legacy of service is reflected both at home and in my community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, is there anything that we haven't talked about specifically about Right at Home or about yourself that you would like the members of our Chamber of Commerce or the members of our immediate community to know more about?
Right at home, we also offer respite care. So if you are a family caregiver and you just need that break, maybe like for an hour, we would be able to assist you. We do drop ins, and we really are service focused.
Awesome. What made you join the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce? In the name Simi Valley, obviously you have the other the Simi Valley Chamber of Commerce. You got Canal Valley Chamber of Commerce. Why did you join the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce?
Well, myself and my family lived in Moore Park for years, and we only the office is physically located in Simi Valley, so that's why Simi Valley is on
Yeah.
the name. And I love Moore Park, so it's a nice city, family focused, and you get that small town feel, and I really like that.
There it is. You hear it in every single answer. Every single answer about Moore Park. That small town charm, right? But I mean, we have a saying at the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce that we may be a small town, but we're big on business. And so you've attended some of our events, the networking breakfast, maybe our networking mixers. What's your favorite event to attend?
I would say the networking events because you're up, you're moving around, you're meeting people. Maybe you didn't meet them in the morning because either their day started early or they couldn't make it to the breakfast. So I would say the networking events.
Okay. And just to remind everybody who's watching now or will watch this later, as a member of the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce, but even also as a member of our community, we invite you to join us at the networking breakfast, which is the third Friday of every month. We have our networking mixer, which is the first Tuesday of every month. We have our lunch and learn opportunities. We have our young professionals events. We have the topic on tap coming up where we have some of our professionals talking about ADA law. So there's so much to what we have within the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce to offer our members to help promote their business, but also to network, as you said. So lots to be involved in, lots to do. Sasha, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up the show?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on here. I'm going to share this link with you so that you can use this later to continue to promote Right at Home. And guys, if you need anything, Sasha can be reached. If you Google Right at Home Simi Valley, you'll find her. Is there any social media that people might be able to follow as well?
Uh, right at home on Facebook. It's
Okay.
also a link on the website.
Beautiful. All right, perfect. Well, Sasha, thank you so much for being on the show today and telling us all about your business and a little bit more about yourself. I look forward to seeing you at the next event. And guys, that's it for today. We'll see you on the next edition of the Chamber Chat for the Moore Park Chamber of Commerce. Have a great week. Bye, Sasha. Thank you.
Bye.